Hey everyone. So before we kind of learn how to use PantheonOS as a platform, first I just wanted to give a basic tutorial on the layout of this platform. So as you can see here, this is the page that you immediately go to once logging in. If you look up here where it says chat and team, this is the chat page. This is where, obviously we have a chat box right here. This is where you really talk to the platform and the multi-agent team that you're working with that can work through your data, do all the data analysis, automate everything. As you can see here, when you toggle on to the team panel, this page really just shows the agents that are in your current team that would be doing all of the grunt work and analyzing your data and generating reports. So the default is always a leader that's coordinating between the different agents, the researcher that's really kind of the brains of the operation, taking your queries, integrating scientific information that's found on the internet across different databases, papers, and a scientific illustrator, which does a lot of the graph making, really aids in report generation. And you can also add your own agents. So if I click Add Agent here, pulls up a side panel, and you have different agents here that are more specific that you can kind of add to aid your operation, depending on what you want. So for example, we have more specific graph makers. If you're studying rare diseases, then we have agents for that. If you are looking at more omics, we have different agents for that. We also have a writer agent in here if you want specific writing in kind of the reports that are generated. And if you're specializing in single cell analysis, we have a bunch of different agents for that. In fact, we have our own single cell team that you can access by adding all of these agents to your team specifically. And I can just go up here in the top right, click this icon to close the side panel. And yeah, so if I go to chat, the chat box is here. If I go up to the top left and click these little three lines, this will basically take us into two pages. So the first, on the side panel, you can see it says chat groups. This is basically where you can access your current chat as well as you can see your previous chats on your account. If you click over to the folder that's next to this little, text bubble, this folder essentially shows the project workspace. So in the .pantheon folder, you see a lot of the files that are associated and native to the platform. I will go into more detail into what's in these folders and how you can access your project files once you start uploading data and actually start talking to your multi-agent system, and once it starts generating reports. I will show where all of that gets kind of stored into the file system. For now, this is kind of the most important thing to remember, that this is really the file system that contains all the files native to the platform as well as the analysis that you're looking to do. If we go on to here, this is really not that important, but if you are working on different machines and you need to combine all of that into a cluster to do your analysis, then you can access this side panel by clicking cluster down in the bottom left. And this really opens a page where you can add different machines, join different machines into your cluster that can perform all of the analysis that you're looking to do. And this is especially useful if your analysis is very computation intensive and you're looking to add GPUs and more powerful machines to your analysis. And our platform is great at essentially taking different components of analysis and moving them between machines given its computational requirements. So the other page that I want to quickly show, if you go into the bottom left, is the custom panel. So when I click custom, it pulls up different custom teams that we have already built into the platform. So you have your general team that you saw with the leader, the researcher, and the scientific illustrator. But we also have a graph maker team that specializes in making graphs, a code evolution team that you can use if you already have an algorithm that you want to essentially make better or more efficient. You can put that algorithm into Pantheon, and this multi-agent team will essentially look to evolve it based on an objective metric that measures its performance. We also have a team for omics, single cell analysis, writing papers, etc. So that's the custom panel. When I close that up, the other panel that I'll quickly show is just the user panel on the bottom left. This is self-explanatory. Your account, see how much of the API you used, see how many messages you're giving to the platform, your storage space, etc. And that's the basics of the platform. In the next tutorial, I'll go over how you can actually work on this platform to do your analyses, conduct studies with inputted data, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.